Over the last 5 videos, we walked through the most important week in human history. And we did it not through stained glass windows or polished theology, but through the eyes of the people who lived it. None of them wrote a gospel. None of them were part of the inner circle. Some were enemies. Some were broken, and some were confused. But every one of them saw something that still speaks today. This was the goal from the beginning, not just to retell the Easter story, but to see it through human eyes, to understand what these people felt, misunderstood, resisted, or finally realized. And then to ask ourselves, what would we have seen if we were standing where they stood? Because when we look through their eyes, we often see ourselves. Judas teaches us that proximity to Jesus doesn't equal surrender. He walked with Jesus for 3 years, but tried to force the Messiah into his own vision. He reminds us that even our best intentions, if they're not surrendered, can lead us pretty far off track. So we ask, am I truly surrendered to Jesus, or am I trying to shape him into something I want? Do I walk with him in public, but hold back in private? What do I do when he doesn't meet my expectations? Caiaphas reminds us that we can become so focused on preserving what we've built, our comfort, our control, and our systems, that we miss the very God we claim to serve. He condemned Jesus while believing he was doing the right thing. So we ask, what systems or structures am I clinging to? Have I mistaken my role or influence for actual faith? Would I recognize Jesus if he disrupted my plans? Pilate knew Jesus was innocent. He tried to delay. He tried to deflect. But in the end, he washed his hands and let injustice win. Pilate challenges us with this: knowing what's right isn't the same as doing it. And so we ask, what do I do when the right thing is costly? Do I stand up, or do I wash my hands of it? Am I driven by truth or by fear of what I might lose? The centurion didn't know the scriptures. He didn't understand Jewish prophecy. He was just doing his job. But he saw the way Jesus died, and it changed him. He saw grace in suffering, forgiveness in pain, and strength in surrender. We ask, can I recognize God when he shows up in weakness and not in power? Have I grown numb to the cross? Am I willing to be changed by what I see, even if I don't fully understand it? Mary Magdalene. Mary stayed when others left. She wept when others moved on. And because she stayed, she saw. Jesus didn't call her with proof. He called her by name. She reminds us that resurrection is often recognized in relationship, in the quiet voice of a Savior who knows us personally. And we ask, am I staying near enough to Jesus to hear him? Do I believe he still calls me by name, even in grief or silence? Have I ever counted myself out when he's still calling me forward? So what now? We've seen disappointment, we've seen fear, we've seen compromise, we've seen clarity, we've seen resurrection. And my hope is through these various eyes at times and in some ways we've seen ourselves. I hope this wasn't just a history lesson. My hope is it would also be a bit of a soul check, because the cross isn't just the end of Jesus' life. It's really the crossroads for ours. What do we do when Jesus challenges our expectations? When he challenges our systems, our silence, our numbness, our shame? As Christians, we don't just believe in the resurrection. We build our lives on it. We let it challenge us. We let it comfort us. We let us send us out to carry it forward. The tomb is empty. Jesus is alive, and he still calls people